Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
What's going on? First off, make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe button for me. I know my videos ain't like the top-notch videos, but we need to stop supporting these people who haven't grown up in the hood, who haven't suffered any types of racism. But you know what? It is what it is. So let's get into this case. YNW Bortlen. He went ahead and signed a plea, basically a proffer. So I know a lot of us are confused. Hell, I was confused. Is he snitching? Is he not? I don't know, but we're going to break it down a little bit. So a proffer agreement is a written contract between the government and a person under criminal investigation, allowing the individual to provide information about a crime in exchange for protections such as leniency or a recommendation for a lighter sentence. Though it is not fully immunity, the government agrees not to directly use the provided information against the person, but the statements can still be used to impeach them if their testimony at trial contradicts their proffer. The term "queen for a day" is often used for these agreements, as the individual provides information in a sessions where they are temporarily protected from direct prosecutions for their statements. So YNW Bortlen. So right now, I don't think we can call him a rat or a snitch because he hasn't provided anything, that meaning he's not been on the stand and he hasn't pointed out YNW Melly or, said anything. All we know is that he could have said that they drove in the same car after leaving the studios and they dropped him off down the street or at a girl's house, and when these crimes were committed, they were committed. He doesn't know anything about it. But we have to wait. We're so far in trying to give people these snitch and rat labels that, and it's crazy because I think now these proper agreements are like snitching 2.0. A lot of these guys that commit crimes, I'm talking about the high profile rappers that commit crimes, that they let stuff leak through the lawyers now. You ever notice that? The lawyer says that such and such and such and such, and now they say, well, I didn't snitch because I didn't say it. Well, how does a lawyer know any of this information without you telling? And this is why I always try to tell these young people, man, stay out the streets, man. There's no code. People have been snitching since the day snitching was invented, way back in the day. Nobody is loyal to the game, to these streets. All they do is care about themselves. But this young man got off easily, man. He was facing 2 capital murder charges, a host of a bunch of other charges to get this agreement, and possibly only has to do 10 years. That's unheard of. I mean, if you look at any other states, man, I mean, a lot of these people who have these proffer or other deals and plead down, man, they're still getting like 20 years to 28 years for murder. So, I mean, if I was him, yeah, I'd be in there giving up what I know, because, I mean, he has the tall in the paint. This man has did 3 years and some change and hasn't opened his mouth, but I guess, after eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches and drinking water and Kool-Aid all fucking day, hell, I'll be ready to tell too, and I'm not no street dude at all. I've been in the streets, but look, I realize, like, look, man, I'm not trying to be in these streets. F that. Anything I do, I know I'm gonna get told on. But back to YNW Bortlen, man. So do I believe he's gonna tell? I definitely do, unless he doesn't want to get that immunity or proper deal taken away from him. And it sucks because I did put some of the courtroom footage in there of him basically agreeing to, give information on the case. Now, do I feel like this hurts YNW Melly? I mean, we can't tell yet. He hasn't taken a stand. They haven't questioned him. We don't know what he's giving up. So right now, that's why I say, don't put the snitch jacket on him. He could have just said, again, we left the studio. I got dropped off at Circle K and got me a pack of Newports and walked all the way home. But would he be lying? Possibly. I'm pretty sure YNW Melly's team is scrambling right now. I'm like, man, I know he's up in that jail like, ain't this a bitch? I can't believe this MF. But the crazy thing is, and this is alleged, y'all, that YNW Melly's people try to put the shootings on YNW Bortlen. I mean, I feel like if somebody's trying to pin the charges on me and I know I'm not the one that committed these crimes, of course, I'm gonna be like, look, bruh, F you. I'm gonna say everything. I'm gonna let them know, Hell, I'm not finna sit in here for life, possible to death sentence, where you possibly get free and knowing that you the one that committed the crimes. So it's a lot of different channels on YouTube basically trying to give their explanation if he's snitching or not. Possibly. But here goes some of the proffer agreement, or he agreeing to the proffer, and we're going to go ahead and play that. So we'll get back to you with you guys my final thoughts. All right, here we go.
3 CF10A. I've got Ms. Collins, Mr. Griffiths present for the state. I've got Mr. Haddad, Mr. Nascimento present for Mr. Henry, who likewise is present. So I had set this afternoon for the deadline as to whether or not Mr. Henry wanted to accept the state's offer or not. We're set to go with jury selection tomorrow morning. So Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento will vote forward to change your plea this afternoon. And state, is it the same terms that you discussed previously, or is there anything different?
No, Your Honor, that has to be.
So the plea forms to me look like in the 19 case as to the 2 counts of accessory after the fact, as well as to all 4 counts. The 23 case, these are going to be adjudications. 10 years Florida State Prison, followed by, that's a 6 years probation. 6 years probation. All counts are run concurrently, all sentences run concurrently with one another. It looks like there's no restitution in the 23 case. In the 19 case, I'm reserving restitution and ordering it payable. That's going to be to Terry Bagley as well as Ashley Phillips.
Yes.
Is that correct? So now up to
We've spoken to them and they don't anticipate there being any restitution, but it's caution.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll give you 120 days to tell me the amount. There's
Yes,
no
Your
amount you want to restitution.
They are present as well, too, so our big advocate has informed them that
Okay.
there's any restitution. They will let us know.
Okay.
As of today, they said there is none.
All right, and state, is that the complete term? That's it?
He's also going to be giving it to proffer, Your Honor, at a later time.
Well, is that part of the negotiation? Henry, it's 2 cases, sir. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, this is before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state. You were charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital offenses. The maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State prisons. Counts 3 and 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State prison. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged at count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State prison. Count 2, directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first degree felony. Again, punishable up to life in Florida State prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. Again, as it relates to a first degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State prison. And count 7, unlawful use of a 2-way communication device as charged. That's a second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State prison. So, sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State prison. Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number 1, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree murder counts. All right, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Yes, sir. It's 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a 2-way communication device, that's a second-degree felony. The maximum exposure.
It's a third degree, Your Honor.
It's the second as charged, I believe. It's a third, except as it relates to a capital case. I'm happy to look it up. Well, what did you want the negotiated sentence to be for that?
That was just going to be the maximum.
5 years? Is that what you're going to do? Okay. All right, so sir, as to that count, it's going to be the adjudication of 5 years in Florida State prison. So the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases. All of those counts will run concurrently. All those sentences will run concurrently. All counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other. I'm going to have to impose mandatory court costs.
So honestly, y'all let me know in the comments. I know my videos only really getting not too many good views because there's 1,000 videos on this fucking subject, but let's just be real. So Bortlen was potentially looking at a life sentence. He was facing 2 first-degree murder charges along with accessory after the fact and witness tampering charges. So he pleaded no contest in the beginning to the accessory after the fact charges and to the witness tampering charges. So let's be real, y'all. Any of y'all are okay with those charges, I can understand. But the first degree murder charges, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way. I would have been, man, it would have took me 2 hours. Give me some McDonald's with a fish fillet sandwich and some fries with no salt and a root beer. I'd have been telling y'all that shit in the first 10 minutes. I'm not going down for nobody's murder. And this young man said, guess what? After spending 3 years in fucking jail, I'm not going down for this, man. I don't care if my name is YNW, whatever. Melly might be fucked. Excuse my language, YouTube, but Melly might be fucked. But you know what? You know, these guys, they live by this music. You know, they're trying to get this internet clout. You know, it's like a race now. Who can stay in prison the longest? And I ain't even mentioned Young Thug's name in here yet. But this is another example of, you know, these young men that do stupid shit, these crimes, and think they're gonna get away with it. There's cameras all over the place. They're tracking phones nowadays. They can sit there and geolocate your phone out of 1,000 other phones on the cell phone tower and eliminate the phones and get your number, and there you go. They got cameras everywhere now, everywhere. And it's a state. If the state has money, they're gonna prosecute you. And I know y'all wonder why isn't everybody else being, because a lot of these cities and towns don't have the money to put into solving a lot of these crimes. But when you're messing with these big cities, they ain't got nothing but time and money. A lot of these DA and prosecutors are trying to make a name for themselves, and they're using us as an example. We need to wake up. Again, there is no honor. There is no code for the streets nowadays. Everybody's saying that's my twin, that's my brother, but you realize that once you sit in that jail for 5 to 10 days, you start getting worried. You know, you ain't smoked a cigarette, you ain't popped a pill. Shit, you ready to get out. A lot of these young men are telling. They're telling in secret until we're able to FOIA request their interviews, and there you go. He over there snitching, eating a sandwich, talking about crimes they ain't never heard of. But you know what? I want to say this is part 1. Let me know what y'all think. And you know what? It's sad, but it is what it is. I love y'all all. Be easy, and I'll see you on my next video. I'm out. Peace.